dollar fell to its lowest point in 52 weeks after a report suggested it could be dumped as the top currency for international oil trade. On Monday, British newspaper The Independent reported China, Russia, France, Japan, and some Gulf states had held secret talks to replace the greenback. Though some have strongly denied the claim, Robert Fisk, who wrote the story, told RT the denials are only to be expected.
This story started with a series of conversations with bankers here in Beirut. I then took it to the Gulf, and I've just returned from Hong Kong, where I spoke to some senior Chinese bankers, and all of them have insisted that this is correct. There was some doubt about the interest of Germany, in fact, which is one reason why I didn't stress that in my report. But one of the Chinese bankers said to me, including there was a broker sitting at the table, he said, "Believe me, your report is correct, but you will receive a thunder of denials." And indeed, that is what happened, and I heard the thunder, and I remembered that conversation. It's interesting that China has not come out with any huge denials. Russia has, of course, up to a point, and the Gulf Arabs, but it's in the interests of the Arabs and all the nations involved to deny this is happening at the moment. But we're talking about an event, a project that would not actually have its fulfillment, de-dollarization, for another 9 years. We're almost a decade away. At the moment, no one wants to bring the dollar down. First of all, because they don't want bad relations with the United States, and secondly, they've got too many dollar reserves to want to hurt themselves. You've got to realize that the dollar hasn't got to actually disappear from the basket of currencies which you can pay for oil. You can add to them. I mean, at the moment, we're talking about Chinese, Japanese, the euro, gold perhaps as a transitional currency, and maybe the ruble later on. But I think the real issue here is that the dollar is political power as well as economic power for the United States. And I think that its ability to control not just the financial system, the international financial system, but the international political system will be seriously reduced. I think the political gains are obvious, and they're with us already. I mean, we know, for example, that Arabs have been discussing different currencies for the sale of oil, and we know very clearly that, for example, in Russia, you've got both Mr. Medvedev and Mr. Putin have discussed having a different form of international financial system, and indeed a move away from the dollar, as has the Chinese Prime Minister and President Sarkozy of France. I think what we're going to have, if this basket of currencies works, is first of all a much more stable oil value, because you're going to be able to have a wave in which various currencies can ride up against each other instead of a crisis every time the dollar tumbles or there's an economic crisis in the United States.